Hello, Morongo Basin and listeners around the world online at Z107.7 FM.com. This is your Z107.7 local news for Saturday, May 24th, 2025. The High Desert Nature Museum in Yucca Valley has announced they're going to be extending their hours for summertime. Starting on June 4th, they'll be open from 9:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. That's an extra half hour on each end of the day to enjoy the free air-conditioned museum. It's also great timing as they're debuting their newest art and science exhibit, which aims to ignite some of the same curiosity in today's children and adults that inspired a certain famous Italian painter, engineer, scientist, sculptor, and architect. Here's Hillary Sloan with more.
Starting on May 24th and continuing through September 9th, the High Desert Nature Museum will host a hands-on exhibit inspired by Leonardo da Vinci, providing a creative playground for people of all ages. Visitors can explore the original Renaissance man's inventions, art, and ideas at more than a dozen interactive stations. Try your hand at building bridges and towers, experiment with simple machines, solve math puzzles, or sketch your version of the Mona Lisa. There's even an opportunity to practice Da Vinci's famous mirror writing or construct a flying machine. Multi-user workshop tables foster group collaboration, making the exhibit an ideal outing for families, friends, or school groups. Whether you're 8 or 80, this exhibit invites you to think like a visionary. The High Desert Nature Museum is located at 57090 29 Palms Highway in Yucca Valley. For Z107.7, this is reporter Hillary Sloan.
A new show of photography from renowned choreographer and 29 Palms resident Ryan Hefington debuts tonight. It's part of a full weekend of events and Hefington's first major foray into photography. News director and art appreciator Jeff Harmatz talked with Ryan Hefington about the show, and he joins me here in the Z107.7 studios. Hey, Jeff.
Hi, Robert.
So Ryan's well known for his dance choreography around the high desert, but he wanted to come in and talk to you about something that's sort of new for him, right?
Ryan came by to talk about Desert Trade, which is his community art space in the Indian Cove neighborhood of 29 Palms. It's where his new photography show, and he's new with photography as well, that debuts tonight. Here's Ryan to tell you a little bit more about the space in the show.
Desert Trade, first and foremost, is a community space. It seconds as an artist residency. It's a place to bring community together, artists together, allowing people a space to dream and develop, and our goal is to support that.
So you are more known as dancer, choreographer. Mm-hmm. This is a photography show from you, correct?
It is. Yeah, well, I've had this vision I've been out here permanently for 5 years, moving out to the middle of the desert, not knowing anyone. And yeah, I guess it's been quite the arc of understanding what it means to live in the desert. I've always envisioned myself as a part of that landscape at this point. Through these photographs, I'm trying to merge the parallels between the landscape and my emotional somersaults that I've been through since living here in the desert. I am in every single photograph, but you will not see my face. You know, as a choreographer, my goal was always to expose humanity, if you will, through gestures and emotional content. And that's what I brought to these photographs. They are combined with these landscape photographs that I've taken. Once you see them, you'll absolutely understand what that means. This wouldn't have happened without the support of TBID. We received an incredible grant and Visit 29 Palms. And so, you know, the goal of these grants is to engage people from outside of the local area. So what I've learned is that rather than people coming for a 3-hour event, you want to give them something to do the night before, the day after, so they can make a weekend of it. Sunday, there is gospel brunch. And my friend DJ Willie from Los Angeles is coming out to spin house-inspired gospel music. He's a chef, and he's making this Southern-inspired cuisine.
Hefington's show, Emotional Landscapes, opens Saturday at 6 p.m. at Desert Trade, located at 6750 Sherman Road in 29 Palms. You can learn more about the show and the brunch at www.deserttrade.com. That's Desert Trade with one T. You can also find a link at this story on our website, Z1077fm.com. Caltrans has released a construction update on the $21.9 million pavement rehabilitation and shoulder widening project taking place on State Route 247, also known as Old Woman Springs Road. The nighttime work operations will be taking place near Yucca Valley from the Highway 62 junction up to Gin Road. Project work is expected to be completed by this fall. In observance of the Memorial Day weekend, they're going to be pausing the nightly lane closures scheduled for Sunday the 25th and Monday the 26th. Work operations are expected to resume after the holiday weekend and will occur nightly from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m., Sundays through Thursdays, and concluding each weekend on Friday morning. There may be work on Friday and Saturday nights from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. with some lane closures. Daytime operations will be ongoing in the shoulder areas. Those operations will require one lane to be closed in each direction. Traffic will alternate lanes with flagging at various work locations, and a pilot vehicle will be on site to guide traffic. Caltrans is asking everyone to proceed cautiously through the work zone and follow flaggers and indicated signage for the safety of crews and other drivers. Approximate flagging wait times per side are expected to be up to 20 minutes, so plan ahead and be extra mindful of the work area signage as law enforcement will enforce applicable laws and regulations. You can check traffic and road conditions for state highways that are maintained by Caltrans. You can go to quickmap.dot.ca.gov to check conditions. You can also sign up for construction updates on the rehab project on Old Woman Springs Road. We'll have both of those links on our website, Z107.7fm.com. And we're in the middle of the 74th annual Grub Steak Days in Yucca Valley. The carnival's been lighting up the night near Highway 62 and Hilton Avenue since Friday, and it runs until June 1st. Today, from noon to 4, it's Kids Day at the Boys and Girls Club of the High Desert with loads of family fun activities. And right across the way, the community celebration will be going on from noon to 8 p.m. with a beer garden, 10 bands providing live music and dancing, a food court, beard contest, art exhibit, grub steak marketplace, and yes, a mechanical bull. Party hard, but get a good night's rest so you can rise and shine on Sunday for the Grub Steaks Run, which starts at 8 a.m. at the Yucca Valley High School, and the Pony Express will be riding again in the High Desert up in Pioneer Town from 11 to 2 p.m. The mail is scheduled to arrive at high noon at the Pioneer Town station, and rumor has it some local ruffians and roustabouts may show up to give the Pony Express a hard time. Step back in time and get celebrating this Memorial Day with the 74th Annual Grub Steak Days Festival. You can see the full schedule of events at grubsteakdays.com. Airplane peeping has never been better in the High Desert, with 2 opportunities on each end of the basin this Sunday to get your fill of vintage aircraft and the folks who pilot them. The monthly aircraft show at the Yucca Valley Airport is this Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the junction of Highway 247 and Aviation Drive. Along with pilots taxiing their planes out for tours and a Q&A, there'll also be free hot dogs, donuts, and drinks for as long as they last. And taking place at the same time but at the opposite corner of the basin is the historic aircraft display at the 29 Palms Airport. Along with vintage planes, they also welcome show and club cars. There'll be donuts and coffee while they last, and hot dogs by Mustard's Last Stand. It's about 27 miles between the 2 airports, and if you plan it right, you can visit both as long as you keep the speed reasonable on Highway 62. You can probably cut that time down if you take to the skies to get between both locations. Talk to a pilot, peruse the planes, and meet some new folks at the Yucca Valley and 29 Palms airports this Sunday from 10 a.m. to noon. And if you're like me, the petite heat wave that rolled through the High Desert this week was a bit of a surprise, and it moved up my summer preparation plans by a few weeks. Staying cool is essential for those of us who live and work in the desert year-round, and Hillary Sloan rejoins us with a few simple things to consider around the house when it comes to keeping cool.
High heat and rising humidity are hitting the Morongo Basin. When it's dry, a swamp cooler is a lifesaver. But if there is humidity, homes can start to feel like saunas. If you're cooling an art studio, ensure that paper and art are protected from the moisture. To stay cooler, open windows overnight to flush out hot air, then seal them up early in the morning. Keep curtains closed during the day, and if you can, hang shade cloth or tarps outside sunny windows to block heat before it reaches the glass. Reducing heat inside starts with turning off unnecessary electronics and lights. Even energy-efficient bulbs and computers produce surprising warmth. If you have an air conditioner, cooling just one small room instead of the whole house can reduce your electric bill and extend the unit's life. If your car does not have AC, frozen water bottles and early morning drives can help you avoid dangerous heat during the worst part of the day. For Z107.7, this is reporter Hillary Sloan.
Thanks, Hillary. There's some good tips there. And if you're new to the high desert and you have no idea what people are talking about when they say swamp cooler, it's okay. We've got you covered. You can see more tips on keeping cool as well as servicing a swamp cooler on our website, Z107.7fm.com. And that's your local news for Saturday. You can hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. More Morongo Basin residents get their local news from Z107.7 than any other source. Reporting from Joshua Tree, California, alongside the award-winning Z107.7 news team, I'm Robert Hayden.